Now, this is the exciting part of where to go. So remember, you're using your Every Kid Outdoors pass, and you have to find a place to visit with that. So if you start with Every Kid Outdoors, a link right here, and you click on that, it's going to take you to this first page. You can see these are all the different places you could go to. So these are the participating. I mean, you can go to plan a trip here, right? Click on it. It's going to take you to the different parts or parks that you can go to. These are clicked and linked. But if you scroll down to the bottom, these are the different places you can go to. So if I hit National Park, I could click on my national parks, and I'm going to pick a park by state. I'm going to click down to Washington. And then I could see in the state of Washington that there are different national parks that I could go to. Okay, so is the Olympic National Park. I'm going to scroll in a little bit. So if I want to go to Olympic National Park, there's also Mount Rainier. There is the Lake Roosevelt National and Lake Chelan. There's also San Juan's. So let's say I wanted to go to Mount Rainier. I could see this would be a place that I could visit. Okay, let's say I like the national parks, but I also want to find other smaller things. I go back to the Every Kid Outdoor, and I could see that there's also Fish and Wildlife Services. So if I expand that, I can come here and I can find all the different fish and wildlife opportunities. And I could say visit us. And let's go to our locations. And if we go to our locations, it has a map of Washington, or the United States, the world actually. But if I start scrolling in, I can start seeing that there are different places within that I could visit, right? So if I scroll back out further, you can see here there's 2 places, right? And it's going to say Willapa National Park. Okay, and the ones that are linked. So I could see this one is the Julia Butler. Let's say I want it up here more. There's one here, Grays Harbor National. So these are national forest and fish and wildlife places that you can visit and look at. Okay, and they're kind of linked in there. You have to scroll in further and then find where the link is. Sometimes the picture isn't quite there, but you'll notice I have a hand and then I have a finger that points. So if I point there, I have a finger that points, I have a hand. Finger that points gives me an idea of where I could go to. Let's say you don't want the fish and wildlife. There's also the Forest Service, and there's also all these different areas that you can expand and look at going to for your trip. So you can pick national parks, U.S. Fish and Wildlife. You could go to the Forest Service. And again, just like the other ones, you could type in a forest. So you would go to Washington, and you could hit go, and it's going to give you some ideas. This is the gorge area. So you have this that you could go and explore. So that is, again, how you can figure out where to go and what to explore. these are the separate areas that are broken out that you can find and use. Find Your Park is great. This one also lets you filter by different things such as state, and you say apply, and it gives you the specific states that you could, or parks within your state that you could go and visit, like the Olympic National Park or the San Juans. And then if you click details, it gives you even more specific ideas. You can also then click on finding it. So again, you have lots of choices, but the idea is that you are using your Every Kid Outdoors pass. So you have to go to one of those locations and use them. But it could be a national park. It just could be any park that you need a pass to get into. It could also be the Fish and Wildlife or the forest.